What's up everyone, Daniel here. It's time to review The Strain Season 3, Episode 2, titled Bad White. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 2 minutes to recap and give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me. So in the beginning, a bunch of different scientists are experimenting on this woman. They're using the Strigoi blood. It does not work. It's a failure. She ends up dying. Ephraim is telling Satrakian about Nora and Zach. He ends up breaking the news because remember, it's only been a few days since the Season 2 finale. So he's breaking the news and everything. This is the first. I'm glad we get to see their reactions because Fed and Nora was a big part of Season 2. They were friends, and just Satrakian himself, he's shaking. I mean, he's literally just, and he ends up dropping his pills, man. It was funny a little bit, honestly, but it's still very serious moment and everything. And he's like, "Damn it, Mr. Fat," Mr. Fat. All of that stuff, man. I love Satrakian. God, David Bradley, I believe his name is the actor, David something Bradley. I love you, man. You're awesome. Game of Thrones too. Right, everyone has a role in the Master's plan. We find that out, of course. It's a very, very weird, creepy tone to it because Zach and his mom are talking, and she's like, "Everyone has a part in the Master's plan, even Dad, even your daddy, basically." So, if they kill Corey Stoloff, man, I'm not going to be a big fan of that. So Fett has sex with Kate. He ends up meeting this girl. You know how Fett does, man. He ends up doing this thing. We don't get to see them back again this episode, which I'm hoping they kind of do a relationship there. I do miss Dutch and Fett a little bit. I really do want to see them get back together. But Dutch is going through her own stuff right now because Dutch and her friends search for food in this hotel. And there ends up being attacked. There's Strigoi there. And her friends end up leaving. They end up leaving her. They bail on her, and two of her other friends got killed by Strigoi. Also, Dutch was super close to getting killed as well. So Palmer is sick. Quinlan and F are talking, and he's basically saying, "What's the real reason for you being here? Are you using us?" And that's kind of back and forth. F is like, "What are you doing here?" And then Quinlan is like, "Well, what are you doing here? Why are you here telling the news right now to Fett and Satrakian?" So anyway, Palmer, he's kind of just really sick, and he wants the white blood. He wants the formula for the white blood that Satrakian has, because remember, Satrakian's been using that white blood and everything in a formula to keep him going for many more years. It doesn't make him he'll die one day. It doesn't make him immortal, but it makes him live a few more years. So he wants to make a deal with him, and he ends up getting denied. But Satrakian, when he's talking to Fett in the car, he's like, "We can, somehow use Palmer to our own little strategy. We can use him in a way." So that's something very smart. Dutch ends up killing the main guy that left her behind. She ended up going back, and they have the food everywhere. She takes her own part. Like this, I was there too. I'm going to take my food that I deserve. And the guy ended up getting a bunch of worms on him. They used the UV light or whatever, and he ended up getting bit or snitched, like whatever, on the arm. So he's full of worms, and I don't know where she ends up cutting his head off. And I mean, she should have gave him a heads up. I mean, literally, come on. I think she aimed wrong because she didn't get him in the neck. She ended up getting him right there in the mouth. So that's something I did not see coming. I was like, she's just gonna cut his head off, but she cut like midway head off, so she aimed wrong. You gotta work on that, Dutch. Anyway, Quinlan and F will work together at the end. They're kind of teasing this thing like, "Well, I help you out, maybe you'll help me out," and all that, because Quinlan does want to kill the Master, his own personal reasons why he wants to go against the Master. As well, the Master gives Zach the worms at the end, or the white blood from his own blood. So, because Zach ended up seeing his mom killing this little boy and sucking the life out of him, so can we just turn Zach? I literally just want Zach to turn into a Strigoi already, so we don't have to deal with him anymore. That would be fantastic if we can. But either way, now on to the pros and cons. First off, it's great to see Dutch again, and I'm glad they gave her all the badass scenes. She was this close to becoming a muncher. The opening was pretty interesting with the scientists experimenting on the woman. Now, I'm not a big fan of the ending where Ephraim and Quinlan are talking to each other and kind of having this agreement where they're going to work together, because Quinlan cannot be trusted. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the idea, but I don't really love the idea. I know Quinlan's a badass, and I really do enjoy Ephraim a lot. Sometimes his character's a little sometimes, but Corey still is a badass. But the thing is, the thing I love about the ending the most is that final shot where Quinlan is standing, and then all of a sudden he's like, turn off those UV lights. And right when the lights turn off, his face is just half light and half dark. I'm really glad that Fett found some action this week, and not with the Strigoi, but with Kate. Although I don't know if I can trust her yet. I mean, she did just kind of appear in that bar out of nowhere. She started talking to him. Maybe she's working for someone high up. As always, the practical to CGI effects were really good this week. For sure, the most creepiest scene this week is when Zach's mom said that everyone has a role in the Master's plan. Now this week we definitely had some slow-paced scenes. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm really getting tired of Palmer's character. I thought his story arc in Season 2 with Coco was really interesting and really entertaining. But ever since Coco died in Season 2 and everything, I just thought Palmer, like, you know, what's the point of him being around anymore? He's obviously sick. He's trying to make a deal with Satrakian and everything. He's not going to end up good for Palmer at all at the end. I think we can already tell that he's probably going to die a very gruesome death and everything. So, you know, just those scenes in general of Icor's coming to visit him, which Icor's finally talked in this episode. Great to see Icor's back again. He's always the creepy, not seeing everything. But, yeah, Palmer, again, I just think Palmer should die. I think we should just already end his misery and everything, of course. You know, the whole Satrakian of Palmer. You deserve to go to hell and everything. It just, for sure, Palmer needs to go. You know what I've been noticing lately? Back in The Strain Season 1, it used to be scary. It used to be just something new on TV and really exciting. And then Season 2, there were a few scary things in there and all that. But, you know, it started dying down around Season 2, mid-Season 2. And then it just became more action-packed stuff, which is okay. But, I mean, it used to be based on this horrific thing and used to be really dark and brutal. And, yes, like the children getting turned into Strigoi and everything in Season 2, there are some dark, very controversial things. But with Season 3 so far, mind you, it's only been 2 episodes, they really just, they just turned down the creepiness a lot. Like, sure, the Zach and Mom thing and the Master's plan, that's creepy. But that's what I'm saying. It used to be totally creepy. Now it's just becoming more of an action-packed show. You know, more action, less horror, less creepy. The Master in Season 1 was intimidating. He was terrifying. You wouldn't want to be in the same room as him or 100 feet from him or anything like that. But Bolivar as the Master, not scary. He looks like a regular Strigoi. Again, I don't think Quinlan can be trusted. Did you see the way he was staring at Ephraim at the end with his big old eyes and everything? Did you see? He was just staring at him, kind of grinning in a sort of way. And I'm just thinking, you know, Ephraim, he's a drunk and everything. He's probably been drinking and all that. No, don't, Ephraim. Do not believe in Quinlan. Obviously, this is not a big deal, but I'm just saying, Fett and Kate, I wish they could have like seen each other at the end or something, because they said, well, I see you at the bar later tonight. Maybe, but the thing is, Fett never went to the bar and all that. He could have dropped Satrakian off afterwards. It was probably early on in the night, probably wasn't 3 in the morning or something. He could have gone to the bar and, you know, like, talked to Kate. Maybe that's a deleted scene. Maybe that's waiting for next week. But I'm saying I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see that, you know, interaction at the end again, because I really want to see them talk to each other. Overall, it's great to see Dutch return and have some awesome action scenes. And for sure, one of the best moments out of the episode was Satrakian's reaction to Nora's death. Other than that, some slow-paced scenes and the Master looking really stupid. Overall, some great action and effects, Dutch being a badass, and Fett hopefully finding some new love. I'm going to give The Strain Season 3, Episode 2, titled Bad White, a solid B. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to smack that like button. You can comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about the episode. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You can share this review with your friends. You can hit that subscribe button for more awesome reviews. Thanks again. I'll see you next week for more of The Strain. Join the Big D Nation. The road to 500 has begun. Till next time, bye-bye.